Hello, vertical people. Hello, horizontal people. It is a dark day. My project candle has ended. There's still some wax in the bottom, and I will pull it out and use it for a wax melt. But my project candle has ended, which is not good because I'm nowhere near done with the project. But I was thoughtful, and I planned ahead, and so whenever me and my friend went out the other day, I got this. Well, she got it for me, and I'm going to Venmo her. We pulled off the lid and just sniffed it, and we went, wow, that smells just like me. And then we looked at the label, so there we go. New project candle. So here is your update on the Trøndelag project. I'm moving through this very quickly. Future project updates will not be this frequent. Unfortunately, I have a very close deadline, and I need to get it done by then. So let's get this going, and I'm going to give you the debrief because I need to get my head back in the right headspace because somebody decided to open channel another receiving song today. So I need to, refocus my energies. Now, I have now written the bare bones of the paper. Everything is, I have at least one sentence for everything that I wanted to talk about, even if it's not the most coherent. Now I'm going to reread the entire thing. I'm going to go back and I'm going to buff it out if there's not a lot of information, if there could be more, if I need to give more context, if the flow isn't working. So this is about actually making it cohesive. I'm still not citing sources yet. I have all my sources compiled. They're all there. I got them. I'm just not bothering to cite them right now. Occasionally I will throw in a footnote and write down the source that I'm talking about for my own memory. I'm sorry, I need to skip this song because I can't talk whenever they're singing. It's a beautiful song and I love it. Okay, we're listening to Wordruna now. So I'm going through and I'm fleshing it out, and then the next time I sit down to work on it, tomorrow night, I'm going to go through and do the citing of the sources. So I'm actually going to go through and pull specific quotes, pull specific pages, all of that, and then also compile my bibliography, which gives me this weekend, Saturday night and Sunday evening, after we've done renovations on the house, to do my visual accompaniments. That's scanning photographs into the paper, making grids and graphs, grabbing my drawing pad, breaking out the digital art supplies, to draw the map of the region with some context, and then also digitizing my original designs. Like, if you remember, if you go back a little bit, I was talking about designs for my capsule wardrobe. Not even a capsule wardrobe. Designs for costumes based on the Norse gods, right? And I was like, oh, I got all these ideas. Look, oh, wow, look, there's a Kalantiri one. Hashtag my SCA. And here's the Odin-y one. Here's the one I've been working on for 5 years. This is the Frigga one, and there's the Thor one. Here is, my personal heraldry is just, standard, peasant woman's clothes. And there's Loki's merchant with his roost coat. So, I've got options. Did I pick 4 male gods? Yes. Why? Because I know I look good in a dress. And I need more men's clothes because it's dysphoric wearing a dress all of the time. Hashtag genderqueer. And also, Freya didn't want me to dress like her, which we've talked about already. Don't ask me why. Don't know what's going on. She doesn't like it. But I'm now at the point where I need to go through and actually do, word flow and make sure that everything's nice. I have 2 of my friends who have agreed that they're going to read it. I'm going to send one of them over this weekend. As soon as this is done, as I'm working on sources and stuff, hopefully he'll read it Sunday and get it back to me by Tuesday so that I can edit it and send it to my other friend to read on Thursday so that I have all of next weekend to edit it. I would like to not be editing anymore by the 10th. I would like to not, no, that's not fair. By the 5th. I would like to have 5 days where I don't have to think about the writing part and I can just do the drawing part and the visual aid part. Because I want to, on the evening of the 10th, sit down and read the entire essay as is, out loud, get it all sorted out, and then email it in that night. Because final submissions are due the 11th, and unfortunately we will be in a car driving once I get off work on the 11th, so I don't really have time on the 11th to do any editing. For those of you who have no context, I am in a medieval reenactment group called the SCA. Go to sca.org. We're an international nonprofit. It's a lot of fun. I am writing a research paper as a submission to an arts and science competition. Research is a science, I'm told, because you can drop it on your foot. The competition in question is called Queen's Prize Tournament, which is a beginner-friendly arts and science competition with dozens of categories that you can enter. I'm entering research. That you will have 3 judges. You can sign up to have 3 judges. Sometimes you can just make something to put out on display. Truly, you can. Someone has to sponsor you. My Ustedi Maz is going to be sponsoring me. I pronounced that word incorrectly because I do not speak Arabic well. I have signed up to have 3 judges who I do not know, but who will not be Maz or the people I have editing my paper, who will read it after I submit it on the 11th, and then sit down with me, and as I present my triptych and my handouts to them, they will go, cool, so let's talk about this, 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 and this. I thought you did this well, I think you did that incorrectly. Hopefully. Worst case scenario, they speak down to me and say that my project was a waste of time. Believe me, I've spent a lot of time thinking about worst case scenarios here. But that is truly like worst case scenario, is they just hate my research, they don't think it's good enough. I am entering as a beginner level entrant for this category. It is my first time doing a submission for this category. I have never presented a research paper for this historical group before. I'm not in any other historical groups. Now, I've done plenty of research papers for college. But they were about theater. It's a little different. So I want to have 5 days after the 5th to, like, not touch it. And then come back and read it and do final edits. So that's what we're doing tonight. I ate, I have my drink, I have a backup drink because I will not be moving for the next 2 hours. I've got my Trondheim playlist on, which is the playlist I made specifically to, like, kind of evoke the headspace of this research. Trondheim being a major town of commerce and trade in the Trøndelag region of northern Norway. Trondheim, modernly, is the capital of that province, if I'm right about that. Trondheim wasn't wildly important in period. I picked it arbitrarily, because I'm a Marvel nerd. The actual seat of power for the Trøndelag was Hladir, Hladir, also Lade, Lade. It's possible I'm pronouncing Hladir as opposed to Hlad, which would be Lade, Lad. It depends on whether you're reading Norwegian or Anglo-Saxon, Old Norse or Old English. So, Norvis. And I have all this information. It's in my head. I know it all. I know it all. If I had a test, I would pop off. But it's not a test. It's a paper, which is a completely different form of information communication. I almost wish that instead I had written a short story, like a diary entry, like several diary entries about the life of this persona I've created, who still doesn't have a name. Fethrunger is somewhere in there, which is a name from the sagas for Loki. But I don't have, like, an actual name for him. Unlike my Greek persona, who is very solid in my mind. I know who she is. I know what she's like. I don't know what this guy is like. We're figuring it out together. That's a different video. I'm just kind of overwhelmed with this. If you hadn't noticed, hello vertical people, hello horizontal people, because I am transposing a lot of my content here for long form content over to the Red Play Button app. If you want to come join me on the Red Play Button website, I've got stuff up there, including things I can't post on here because of the length of the content and copyrights. Speaking of which, look forward to me releasing the first official audio of the song I wrote in the next week.